I want to remind us that we have our conference coming up next week on the 22nd of November, next week, Friday, 22nd of November, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at, no, I'm not telling you where. You need to go online to register. I don't want to hear it free of charge. You need to work a little bit for it. Go to our website, citei.org, SITEI.org, and find out more about the conference. The conference theme, of course, is community engagement, Panacea for peace in the extractive industries. We have colleagues, friends coming from across Africa. We have business people. We have host community persons from oil and gas and mining communities. We have celebrities coming. Yes, you're missing out, because we want to mainstream the conversation around the challenges that people face in communities. We all come from one community or the other. Most of us who live in Lagos are not actually from Lagos. We come from different communities. Popular celebrities and personalities come from communities that many dare not go back to in today's world. I mean, you guys talk about kidnapping in Lagos. Go to some places and it's like the norm. You dare not visit home. Recently, I heard in my husband's village in Kogi State, someone was kidnapped, and eventually, guess how much they expected to get from the person? Guess, you can't even guess. 5,000 naira. 5,000 naira. It's a mineral producing state. So it's not funny, but it's shocking. But, you also think like those guys, is it that bad? So we have that conference coming up. You can register for it. As I said, go to citei.org, SITEI.org. And I need to remind you also that if you haven't voted, you need to vote for a personality or a business in the extractive industries on our community engagement and human rights awards, community engagement and human rights awards, CAHR awards, pronounced CAR awards. And it's also going to happen on the 22nd of November 2019. We have the Ken Sarua Environmental Award. We have the MKO Abiola Community Engagement Awards. We have the Hajia Gambo Sawaba Community Impact Award. We have the Apostle Hayford Dalili Award. We have Samadu Bello Award for Leadership. And then the Josephine Nkamdali Bertram Ekanaye Equal Rights Award. All of these awards, people have nominated people for them. And you can go on there and vote for people that you like. We have Gani Fawayemi. We have Fall the Bad Guy. Rugged Man, Segalink, Shegun Wosonya, and Chidi Odinkalu, all nominated for the Fumilayo Ransom Kuti Award. We also have, under the Amadu Bello Award for Leadership category, we have Tony Olumelu, Aigweje Aigimokwede, Dr. Kinwumi Adeshino, Dr. Yemi Kale, Justice Aloma, Miriam Mukhtar, John Momor, Ibukun Awoshika, Sojia Pampa. That's a powerful one. And one person only wins that award. And then we have Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Alhaji Abdullahi Abubakar, Michael Sumbola, Oscar Nyama. Do you remember Oscar Nyama, the Air Peace CEO who evacuated all those Nigerians from South Africa? Actually, it's not Oscar Nyama, it's Barrister Allen Ifechukwu Onyema. They're all being nominated for the Apostle Hayford Alile Humanitarian Award. And then, a number of companies nominated for community engagement and all of that. So you guys need to get on there. And then for the Equal Rights Awards, we have Judy Sasuni, we have Dr. Joe Oke Oduma King, we have Obieze Kwesili, we have Yamisi Ransom Kuti, Ayobe, and Abiola Akiode Folabi, all nominated for that Equal Rights Award. Go on there and vote. So as I was saying, community engagement, or as we continue on that discussion on community engagement, Dami, sure you all know Dami, is here with me, and we'll be discussing, some of the strategies for managing communities better. It'd be interesting to receive calls from the other interesting people who don't call. When they hear this, they start calling. I mean, we had some really new callers last week, Dami. Like, we've never heard from them. So they've been listening silently. And then they heard about their communities and they came out of the woodwork. I was very excited to see that. So you guys can call us on 0700 923 93 93. Again, it's 0700 923 93 93. It's the Good Citizen Radio Show, and we are awaiting your call. So community engagement basically seeks to better engage the community to achieve long-term and sustainable outcomes, processes, relationships, decision-making, and implementation. Many people and businesses don't realize how powerful a vehicle it is for bringing about environmental and behavioral changes that will lead to major improvements in the lives of the people. And it's not just about the lives of the people, Dami. It's also for the benefit of the companies. Yeah. It's also for the benefits of the companies because there's a Goldman Sachs research piece that shows that, that says that 73% of delays in the extractive sector is caused by non-technical issues such as community resistance. Mm-hmm. That's a huge amount. Yep. That's a huge percentage, 73% caused by non-technical issues, because technical issues can be resolved by just about anybody. Yeah. So you can call
an engineer, for example.
Absolutely. Whether it's local or international, as in Nayomoni Kilam now. Mm-hmm. You bring somebody, you sort it out, things keep moving. Usually there's a time frame as well for that.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a time frame. You can get your results. You can promise your investors, you can promise your staff that, in no time, everything will be up and going. Mm-hmm. But when you're dealing with humans, because humans are pretty complex and you have to respect their opinions right from the get-go, because when a human being forms an impression of you, then that's it. Yeah. So earlier today, I was speaking about impressions. Earlier today, I was about to leave the office and my colleagues reminded me that I needed to go for a meeting. I had a 5 p.m. meeting in VI. Very important meeting. Apparently, an overseas partner was coming to a particular company, a prospective client, and they thought I should be there. And I really wanted to be there because I thought, wow, this is business that we need. And I remembered that my daughter is writing her first external exam to get into secondary school. And I said, okay, so this is a choice that I have to make. My daughter's future or business for now. And Dami, you and the other people, you and Moturaya and the rest said, definitely your daughter's future, right? And because there are quite a number of ramifications if I, for whatever reason, decided not to go back home and coach her in preparedness for tomorrow, because she may form an impression. If something didn't go well, she would say, Mommy's never around to help me, to sort me out. She's always busy. I mean, they constantly complain, Mommy's always busy doing this and that. And then she has formed this impression. And what that means is even when I do or try to do good things, she thinks,
just today.
Is, this woman, can she really be trusted? Can I really count on her? And you want to be that business that the communities count on. You want to be that business whose host communities are its ambassadors. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on a short break now, and we'll come back on the Good Citizen Radio Show.
The Aspire Coronation Trust, ACT Foundation, is a non-profit organization established to help local, national, and regional non-profit organizations working to address the challenges and associated vulnerabilities across Africa. Our interventions are focused on 4 key areas, which are health, entrepreneurship, environment, and leadership. At ACT Foundation, we believe that together we can make a difference. So, let's come together to make the positive social impact we desire in our world.
Hi GCs, welcome back to the Good Citizen Radio Show. My name is Bekeme and I have with me Dami.
Hello.
And we were talking about community engagement as a panacea for peace in extractive operations, because we know that one of the challenges of community engagement is ensuring that community members are really spoken to, right? And to, for businesses to take the time to find out who the real community persons are, and to foster inclusive growth. So it's not about giving back per se. It's about just having the best interest at heart from the get-go.
Yes.
And talking with them, and finding out their actual needs, and working with them for their collective growth. So it's not about finding one person and saying, here you go, sort yourself out, talk to your people, or the alternative divide and rule. It's about coming up with initiatives that would help them grow as a people, such that they don't even have to depend on you.
Yeah.
Right? So instead of saying, oh, you know what, I'll come here today and I'll give them $100 million or whatever, you would then say, hang on, let me do a proper needs assessment. What are the challenges of this community? How can I get this community to be the next mega city? And working with them towards growing themselves. And I know that, people are at home shaking their heads and saying it's not that easy. People can be difficult and all of that. But yes, people can be difficult, but also there are ways in which people can be dealt with.
Yes.
Yes, you will not please everybody, but to a large extent, you can manage relationships such that the outcomes speak for themselves.
Yes, definitely. And even people, even if they are difficult per se, I think people still like for their opinions to be heard.
Yeah.
So by the time you come and sit down with them, even if they prove difficult, they appreciate the fact that you've still come to them to say, okay, we want to do this. And we just need to tell you this is what we want to do. What do you think? In the end, you might still go back and do what you want to do, but it's because you've asked them and you'll be like, oh, okay, at least they gave us the courtesy of asking us. We might as well just let them do. And they said this is what they wanted to do before we said no. And if you're open enough to say, oh no, we can't actually do what you've asked for because maybe we can't afford it, or right now it's not in our line of, it's not in our goal, or it's not in our strategy as a business. We can't give you a school because that's not our focus area. Our focus area is to train you on proper skills, not to build a school. Then you could say, and they could say, okay, well, if you've said so and you've given a valid reason for that, then they would definitely know. I think that would solve a lot of more problems than just coming into a community and just doing what you will without.
Because I think actually it's a bit cheaper to just come in, talk to one or two people and get it done. So if you want inclusive engagement, it requires more time and a little more resources. But that's in the short term, because if you don't do it in the long term, you spend a lot more.
Yeah.
However, so while saying all of this, so I remind you guys of the number to call is 0700 93 93 93, 0700 93 93 93. If you have examples of innovative approaches to community engagement that you've heard of or been a part of, we'd be very happy to hear of it. Because thinking about it, there are quite a few businesses in that space, oil and gas and mining, which have been quite creative. The popular GMOU, the Global Memorandum of Understanding, was actually initiated by Chevron.
Yeah, definitely.
It was initiated by Chevron, and many businesses across the sector have emulated the GMOU. So rather than dealing with one small community and saying, I don't care about the others, or not thinking about the standardized living for, the entire cluster, they said, you know what? We need to foster inclusive growth. We need to foster sustainable growth.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They came up with this global memorandum of understanding that is measurable. So from the get-go, people are held accountable, at least those who want to be held accountable. And there's a long-term plan to sort people out. I mean, and I live on Chevron Drive, and also there's been, some transformation there as well. So it's not just about that area, it's also about the immediate environment. So if your head offices are in a certain place, how about sorting that place out?
As well, yeah.
Or thinking about, in mining, our friend Nera Teriba of Kian Smith.
Yeah.
So she started the first gold refinery in West Africa. Was it this year or last year?
It was this year.
It was this year?
I think
early this year?
Yeah.
Right. And what she's done is she's working with artisanal miners. But instead of just going and taking their gold and keeping it moving, she's concerned about the environmental and social aspects of their work, because everybody knows about the dangers involved in artisanal mining.
Yeah.
Because of a lack of awareness for personal safety. All sorts of things have been known to happen.
Yeah.
They manage to poison their own water and stuff like that. They manage to expose themselves to certain metals that are detrimental to their health.
Yeah.
They get killed, if they've dug something they shouldn't. And then thinking that, you know what, in short, fair trade. Thinking that as a business, I must be involved in fair trade, whether or not there's a regulator watching me.
Or not, yeah.
Yeah? Has guided the approach to business. And, the approach is, how do I make sure that these people are working in as safe, working in the safest conditions possible, considering where they're coming from, and giving them a fair rate. How do I make sure that they get, they work as safely as possible, and that I give them a fair rate, which is, an absolute minimum.
Yeah.
But what you tend to find a lot of the time is that, businesses, individuals try to take advantage of a certain situation, forgetting that it would not always be like that. Very soon the people will eye go open, and people's mouths go wide. And the bad guys who take behind the door envelopes would also deny you when
time comes.
Absolutely, when things get out of hand.
Yeah.
They would.
I have no clue who you are.
Sorry, I never knew you. So it's very important that all of these are taken into consideration. For participants to be representative of the wider community, it's necessary that they are elected as well, and it's necessary to respect existing cultural norms.
Yeah. Well, even as you just mentioned something about elected, sometimes that in itself sometimes even can cause some level of should I say strife?
Hello, we have a caller.
Yeah,
we've just lost that caller. Go on.
Can cause a level of strife. Most people are not keen on respecting the office that they've been given.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Hi, Ndidi. Good evening. How are you today?
I'm very fine, thank you. And you, how are you doing?
I'm well enough considering all that I have to do to make next week Friday happen. Thank you for asking.
The Lord is your strength. He will perfect everything to work in your favor. Daddy, good evening.
Good evening, Indidi. Good evening.
Yes, I really want to commend you for putting your family strength before business.
Thank you. It wasn't an easy decision.
Yes, I was just listening to hear your decision, and I thank God you made the right one.
Thank you.
Because when the home front is settled, you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything you set your mind up. But when that one is not settled, no way. No way. They're going to the community. Some people are just interested in their own welfare or maybe their own profit. They don't care about the impact, the negative impact they're having on their neighbors. Yes, because, I work in a medical farm, and in a medical facility. They were opposite us. We have the telecom company, and they were running a promo within a time, and they were just blasting the music. And the people in our facility, yes.
Right.
People in our facility were all complaining. They said that they wanted to go. That how could they stay in such an environment? And you go to an extent that I had to go walk into the company to meet the manager. Please, this is what people in our own facility are complaining of. Please, could you just reduce the volume? The man was like, they are into business too, now they want to make it. I said, yes, they want to make money, but then it's affecting us.
What do you say they do, this other company?
It's a telecom company.
I see.
Very popular one.
Okay.
Yeah, very popular one.
Right.
So at the end of it, we reached an agreement. They reduced it to the volume that we wanted. So they continue with their promo. And the people in our facilities too, we are happy. Otherwise, that would have affected our own business negatively.
Thank you.
So once people take decision, they think about the impact on others. Especially when it's negative.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank you for that.
Wonderful nuggets of knowledge from Ndidi.
Definitely.
Our most prolific supporter of the show. So yes, I mean, basically, in summary, it's respect begets respect.
Yes.
And community engagement is even more successful when it encompasses strategies and processes that are sensitive to the community context. What would work here would not necessarily work elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So it works best where is an ongoing cumulative process which enables long-term relationships to build trust that would strengthen over time.
Yes, definitely. And I think sometimes it's just a thought that occurred that even in community engagement, if a company or a business should go to a community and everything, if you don't get to an agreement, you don't have to force yourself to don't start what you can't finish.
Get, in summary, social license to operate through free, prior, and informed consent. Thank you all for listening to the Good Citizen Radio Show. CITE conference is still next week, Friday, 22nd November. Go online, citei.org, SITEI, to register and to vote for on the Community and Human Rights Awards. You can continue the conversation at Good Citizen NG and hit us every Friday at 8 p.m. on IFM 92.3. Thank you to our sponsor, ACT Foundation, and thank you to the great team at CSR in Action. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. God bless. My name again is Bekeme. Bye-bye.